You know what? I thought the morning was going to go by smoothly without me having to address any foolishness first thing in the day. Tanya, I don't agree with how you handled the man who drove trucks. He was trying to explain that his role was to pay all the bills while his wife couldn't work because she had can't. You know what? Let's hold up. So this comment comes in on a video that I did last night on YouTube. Men, how are you better than a dog, cat, houseplant, live call-in show? So the whole purpose of the show was for men to call in because, they have all of these comments on the internet about how you're going to die alone, you're going to get a cat, but this, that. And I happen to like gardening. So I wanted these men to explain to me how they were better than a plant in the damn garden. And a man called in. He spoke for 30 minutes, and this whole call needs to be broken down. But go listen to that on YouTube so that you can have context for this comment here. So she goes on. That's a big deal, actually. Imagine being sick and worrying about if you're going to have a place to live or having a man and still having to work. He took a huge financial burden off her home. If the older kids or certain family members had to step in, then such as life. Oh, she was blessed to even have that kind of support system. It's true. He never said what he did to make her want to leave, but he might genuinely be oblivious. He doesn't seem hurt in behind it, though. I heard him answer how he took care of her, but it's like you wouldn't accept that as him being a good enough answer. Now, as far as the relationship dynamic, he might have been leaving stuff out. When I hear truck driver, I automatically think extramarital activities, but I'm only assuming. Oh, of course, he wasn't going to admit that if he was dealing with the lot lizards. Oh. Number one, dear. He doesn't need you to come in from the comments to tell me what he meant to say. I spoke to him for 30 minutes on the phone, and he expressed what he was trying to say because I was asking him questions. Number one, you as a person who is outside of the situation. 2, not a part of the phone call. And 3, just an observer. And 4, not a trained life coach like me. Right? I asked him the pertinent questions on that broadcast. Listen to what it is that I'm saying. This is my reply. Girl, listen. If you feel you know better or understand better than I, then please go teach on how that is the type of man that women need. Those of us with eyes and ears and intuition open, heard, saw, and felt what was going on. But keep going. Go get a man like that. He's available, by the way, since his wife left him and all. LOL. Women like you think the wife and all other women are wrong, and you know better. Well, darling, go for it. Have him with some hands up emojis. Far too many of us don't allow men to be men. On the one hand, we try to act like men are these all-powerful governing beings, but yet they need us to come flap in with our cape and save the day. That grown-ass man spoke to me on the phone, and this grown-ass woman, trained and professional in listening and weeding out the truth, fact from fiction, was on the line with him. We don't need you to try to decipher what it is that he meant when he had the opportunity to talk to me himself. And what we discovered is that a lot of the things that he was saying was a lie. First, he said he was taking care of her financially. Then he said he tried to cook. Then he said he took her to doctor's appointments and was there for her. Then it turns around that he wasn't really cooking. Then it turns around that he wasn't really in town. Then there was a discrepancy about whether or not he was traveling interstate or out of state. Then he made a mistake with when it was that he said he was going to work or what times it was. And that's when he started to flip out and start getting angry. You say that he didn't know why she left him. Men know exactly why, because women tell them over and over again. It's not a mistake that the moment that she was better, that she got the hell out of Dodge. And don't forget that he slipped up and said that caring for her was not his responsibility. Remember that? Remember, a drunk mind, a drunk mind speaks a sober tongue. And please realize that when people get under duress, that's when you start finding out who it is that they truly are. And how did he behave when he was under duress? Don't dismiss these things, girl. He said that he supported her. First of all, he wouldn't even say whether or not this was during the pandemic. Remember that, because he said that this happened 3 or so years ago. Then remember, he had a foible and a fumble when we were talking about whether or not he was an in-state truck driver or an intrastate truck driver, right? And then when I asked him what he meant by how it is that he supported her, he said he tried to cook. He said one of the children was out of the house. He said one of them was in the house. Then it turns around, right, that he said that she would have survived without him because she's a strong woman and she got this and all this other stuff, right? The thing about it is far too many of us women don't listen. We don't hear what they're actually saying, and we come in with our big capes in tow, trying to figure it all out for them, trying to implant. Let me tell you something. Let me explain this to you. Let me calm down. I am a graphic designer. I am a professionally trained life coach. I am a certified clinical hypnotherapist, and I have a degree in media arts with a specialty in radio, film, and television production. In TV production, one of the things that you'll notice is that when we're doing an extreme close-up, right? An extreme close-up will come all the way up here to a person's forehead. You know why? It'll come up to the person's forehead because the human brain will fill in the blanks. We know that a person has a top of head. We know that their head is not cut off, and we will fill in the blanks. As human beings, and also in my college career, my first major was psychology. So combine that with everything leads to what it is that I'm doing now. So what happens is it's human nature to fill in the blanks. And far too many of us women, we fill in the blanks when we're talking to men, and we project and supplant onto them what we think they mean, what we hope they mean. We dismiss what they actually said. And we add all of these other things because we want to give them a chance. Listen. Hear what it is that he said. For those of you who don't know, just go listen to that whole entire broadcast. It was a boondoggle of the utmost degree. I am a self-love specialist. I am an expert at assisting you in weeding the things out of your life that are deteriorating to your self-love, your self-esteem, your self-care, the things that are aiding in your own self-abuse. And let me just tell you something. That man and the things that he was expressing are quite problematic. We used to talk about Usops, and we used to talk about arbitals, reading between the lines and early warning signs of potential problems. By the end of that conversation, that man was hollering out that I was trying to destroy him. He wouldn't really answer questions. He kept evading and dodging. And I say this often, how you do anything is how you do everything. And I want you, dear, the one who wrote that comment, and anyone who is aligning and abiding and abetting to what it is that you're saying, I want you to look at your life. How many of the people in your life are continuing to lie to you? What does your life look like behind the scenes? What are the caliber and the quality of the relationships that you're attracting and allowing to stay in your life? Because it seems like your BS meter is a little bit off. Remember, there's his story, her story, and the truth. There's a reason why she left him. He claims that he was paying the bills, but was he though? He also said that she was working full time, right? Listen, this is about to end. So look, just go ahead and watch that video over there on YouTube and make the decision for yourself. People lie, and it is up to us to be able to weed through and decipher what is fact and what is